30 years, Mr. Aditya Puri strode like a colossus on the Indian banking scene. But since he retired from HDFC Bank in October 2020, we haven't been able to get him on camera. Today, I got some unexpected help from his wife, actually, who has written a delightful book, Adityanama, The Man Behind the Banker. And both Mrs. Anita Smiley Puri and Aditya Puri have been good enough to come over to our studio. This is the first time that the author of the book and the subject of the book have come for an interview, so I am delighted.
Thank you, Lata. Always a pleasure.
Yes, thank you so much for having us.
Okay, well, first, I must tell you that this is a delightful love story. Mrs. Puri, I wanted to ask you, you all met, you as a college student,
Yes.
fell in love, and then it turned out to be arranged because his bua knew your chachi.
Yes.
This is like filmy.
It's really a miracle because I thought, okay, it's just that, one party.
Okay.
And then I, got into my Miranda house, studies, and I didn't think about it. But his, cousin sister who had taken me to the party, he kept asking her, where's that friend of yours? Because I want to marry her.
Okay.
And she said, I've lost track of her. So it was quite a thing when he came to see me because the Bua and Chachi, sent the proposal to our respective parents.
Yes.
When he came to see me at my sister's home, when the proposal came, he actually just came in, he saw, and he just said, okay, in his mind, but I didn't know.
He didn't ask any questions and
Yes,
you were angry.
he did not even ask me one question. He just saw, okay, this is the same Smiley that I've been searching for. And he just went on to the bar to have a drink.
Okay. Well, let me come back to the story of Mr. Puri's career. Mr. Puri, your story is like, a very amazing tale of climb. You started as a paying guest in a dingy apartment in Mumbai, and where the landlady just gave you half a cup of tea and a biscuit for breakfast. I mean, this is a very big climb. You think this is still possible? What do you owe this dramatic success?
Of course it's possible. I think you need God's grace.
Yeah.
So firstly, Lata, I was from a small town like Chandigarh. And in Chandigarh, if you're reasonably well off, you're a big shot.
Okay.
And there was lots of space, etc. And when I got this job in Mahindra & Mahindra, I thought I'd become a big guy with the sum that was there. When I came here, I realized it was nothing. So and most of us at that time, even the Levers guys, my cousins from Levers, my friends, we were all paying guests in that famous oval, opposite the oval, that whole thing.
Okay.
But mine was a little more down market. I came there later. So yes, it was to the extent that the first time I saw the rush coming out at Churchgate Station, I went back.
Okay.
Now, the fact, however, was that it built a determination that I got to beat this year.
Yes.
We're not going to sit there. And in fact, I said, because when you come from a small town, you're a member of the club, you're a member of the golf club, you know everybody. Here I was nobody.
Yes.
But I said, I'm going to do it. And the advice would be only this, that do what you're passionate about, work hard, and also have an emotional coefficient. People only get there. And then nobody can stop you. And especially today.
I'm glad you said emotional coefficient because Mrs. Puri points out that among your big qualities, best qualities as she calls it, is you're a man with humor and you are a foodie. I'm going to come to the foodie a bit later. But a man of humor, you think that is a very big ingredient in success?
Yes, I think the overall package, you can't be too serious. And also you got to roll, you got to go up and down and roll with the punches. Nobody is going to have a straight climb. So you've got to have that tenacity. And a bit of humor can lighten almost any situation. So I think humor, some empathy, lack of ego. You got to be humble. Your ego will kill you one way or the other.
Okay. Well, actually, she speaks about the fact that you're extremely fair to colleagues, even when you are harsh with them. But Mrs. Puri, one of the nice things, and not many people can do this, you said he never brings his problems home.
Yes.
didn't discuss the tensions.
You know, my father used to come home with a briefcase full of papers from his business and then open it out when he would come and he would be, at
Working
work.
through.
So when I got married, I asked him in the evening when he came back from work, I said, "Where's your briefcase?" Because I was so used to my father.
People
He
carry
said,
home.
"What briefcase?" Since then, I've never seen even one piece of paper come home or one problem come home. And later on in the day, next day I would get to know that there was a big problem at the bank.
Oh.
But I never got to know.
But you do say that the change to Citibank, there was a lot of think. In fact, in quotes, you say he would ask, "Smiley, did we do the right thing?" So those were very difficult days, the change from Citi
to the HDFC
HDFC
Bank. Yes, it was, because I was living like a queen in Malaysia. He was CEO there and they would call me Lady Boss.
Okay.
And Lady Boss shouldn't have any problems at all. Whereas here when I came, people didn't even know the name of the bank. And they sort of used to, actually we lost a lot of friends also at that time. Because from being somebody, we were nothing.
Yes.
So it was a big change also, even my lifestyle, because it was a large, grand home and we had a lot of cars and drivers and all. Whereas here, since the bank was, a newborn baby, so we did have not
Adjusting
many,
to a smaller house.
and not many perquisites as we had.
And not so much help from the organization.
From the organization.
Since it wasn't set up.
Yeah.
Mr. Puri, the big question really of your career, what made you jump? If you were in such a good position in Citi and you would have risen there as well to the international levels, how did Deepak Parekh convince you? You say he met you in a hotel in Kuala Lumpur.
No, he met me at home.
Yeah.
He came home.
And so, fundamentally, yes, absolutely. John Reed that time had a few of these guys who had Golden Hole Cup. There was Jerry Rao, there was my boss later on, Anupam Nani. I was there, who said these are the 50 guys who are going to do it. And I was on the cusp of a... but then we were sometimes thinking whether we want to spend our entire life overseas or we come here. And long back I told Smiley, one day I'll set up a bank in India that India will be proud of. So that was there at the back of my mind. But it was a very tough decision. And then when Deepak came, he said, and the salary he offered means...
was much lower, he said.
I was almost going to fall off the chair. I said, Deepak, are you bloody joking? What are we going to do? Then I also said, look, if I come back, it will be to solve a passion. So, whose bank will it be? How much will you run it and how much? He said, look, you come back and you run it. And I have to say, he never deviated from that. If I needed to do something or if I needed his help, I went to him. But he never once said, you do this or you do that or you do that. Credit to him. And he said, look, come back to the country and do something. And then the clincher actually was my dad.
Okay.
He was not well. And then we said, Papa, come, we'll set up hospital wherever we were. They were talking about Australia or something. And he said, no, I don't want to leave this place. And I want to spend my last days in Smiley's house.
Okay.
I said, Papa, it happens to be my house as well.
Okay.
But that, I swelled with pride because it was a hell of a compliment that he sees it as his daughter-in-law's house. And then I went to Smiley and I said, look, Smiley, what should I do? So she says, if something happens to Papa, can you spend the balance of your life?
Yeah.
I said, no. And then we were here.
So it was an emotional as well as an intellectual choice.
Absolutely.
To set up a bank, your own passion, as well as family issues. Okay, aside from HDFC Bank itself, did you get irritated with any qualities? I mean, chapter after chapter, you speak well of him.
No, naturally.
That's a little difficult. I mean, did he put wet towels on the bed or, disturb
Yeah,
the...
a nice person.
Nice person with gloves.
No, it's natural to have a little bit of irritation. He's human after all. But the wet towel didn't, happen. But, whenever I was in company and I would be talking to my friends, he would get something in his mind which was very important at that time, which he wanted to say, but he didn't have the patience to wait for me to finish. And he would interrupt me, and this really irritated me. And I would say, hello, I'm speaking, you know.
Just take over the conversation.
And the second thing that really bothered me was his dress sense. Oh my God. And it still hasn't improved. We've married 45
How
years.
did I get the GQ award then? I got GQ award.
You got, but maybe that's...
That was for
That's for bad
business.
dressing.
Business.
I'm getting to the next set of my pile of questions.
Sure.
For that, we have to take a break. Back in a jiffy with more interesting questions for Aditya Puri and Anita Puri.